There are many racetracks around the world that can be called the greatest of them all. And there are many tracks around the world that are the most well known. But this place of all places is more well known than any other track around the world. More well known than Charlotte. More well known than Monaco. And even more well known than Daytona. This track is the original birthplace of speed, where the first Indianapolis 500 was held more than a century ago. No, this is the original birthplace of speed. This is the original racetrack of them all. This is Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As stop number 22 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series, it brings us to the Brickyard 400, the giant rectangle-shaped racetrack that everybody wants to add on the resume of victories. You in Indianapolis, well, let's just say it is a big one. And we are here today for the ring of the Brickyard 400. 24 laps of distance here today on this giant rectangle-shaped racetrack where only the Castrol GTX Cup Series runs, and of course also Indy cars. This has been the home to the Indianapolis 500 for more than 100 years, and it's also been home to NASCAR's Brickyard 400, held here every year since 1994. So with all that said, let's get the startup lineup and look at the 40 cars that will run for victory here today. On the pole at 180 miles per hour, it's Cole Deaver, number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. He'll be flanked by the number 27 Pontiac of Kyle Langland. He's on the outside. The second row, we'll find Kat Tellier, number 7, of Xerox Antifreeze Ford. The winner this season at California. She'll be alongside Dylan Young, number 2, the Kroger Chevrolet. The third row has two-time winner Keith Batson. His wins this season came at Michigan and at Sonoma. He's in a Texaco Haviland Ford, number 28. Texaco here. Alongside of him will be Zed Weiss and the Ruppel Furniture AC Spark Plugs Pontiac. His car number is 70. Next row down, we'll have one of our in-car cameras in today's event. Charles Sanford, number 30, the Country Time Pontiac. And his wins this season came at Las Vegas, Atlanta, and at the road course at Riverside. Flanking him outside, or actually I think Sanford also won at Pocono, I think, also too, so he's got a 4-time winner this season. Flanking him outside will be the 15 of Jason Haywood. He's on the outside of the racetrack. Next row down, Kev Shearer, number 71, the Buck Stove Oldsmobile. Flanking him outside will be another one of our in-car cameras. It's Seth Cole, number 52, the Folgers Chevrolet. Next row down, we'll have Michael Whitman in the Strolite Ford car number 6, and he'll be alongside the 43 STP Pontiac of Joshua Collard. Next row down, we'll have the number 1 Bullseye Barbecue Sauce Chevrolet, who they're the defending series champion Trent Dunham, and Paul Minnick, number 44, the Piedmont Chevrolet. Next row down, we'll have Chelsea Bowles in the Superior Piping Nutsland Contracting Chevrolet, number 74. She'll be flanked by another 4-time winner, Jessica Shelton, number 9, the Coors Melling Ford. Her wins came at Bristol, Texas, Richmond, and at the first Pocono event. Next row down has Kyle Matthews, number 29, the Hardee's Oldsmobile. Winner this season at North Wilkesboro, and he'll be alongside number 4, Kodak Film Chevrolet Oldsmobile of William Brock. He's alongside Shelton, by the way, is our third in-car camera. Next row down, we'll have Ryan Cassidy, number 12, the Budweiser Chevrolet, and the number 21 Hodgdon Ford of Becca Tellier, the winner this season at Darlington. Next row down has Zach Winkle, number 11, the Budweiser Chevrolet, the other Junior Johnson machine, and Max Anderson, number 75, the Valvoline Pontiac. Next row down, we'll have Ryan George, number 17, the Tide Chevrolet, winner this season at Rockingham. And he'll be alongside number 14, the Copenhagen Gilmore Oldsmobile of Tony Newman. Next row down, we'll have Johnny Gardner, number 35, the Folger Chevrolet, and Joshua Sekuling, the Race Hill Farms Buick, number 47. Next row down, we'll have Mike Becker, the winner at Talladega this season, the STP Buick, number 42, and the Quaker State Buick, number 26 of Quentin Moore. Next row down, we'll have Ryan Winters, number 90, the Red Baron Frozen Pizza Ford, and the Daytona 500 champion, Emmanuel Hartnett, number 83, the Wins Kmart Oldsmobile. Next row down, we have Jonathan Zorlin, number 88, the Gatorade Buick, and he'll be alongside Alexander Rowe, number 51, the Valvoline Oldsmobile. Next row down, we'll have Patrick Smith, the winner of the season at Dover, number 8, the Miller American Buick, and number 13, the CTE Ford of Jesse Turner. Going to the next row, Phil Parker, number 5, the the Levi Garrett Chevrolet, and Joshua Osborne, number 25, the Folger Chevrolet, the winner of the season at Martinsville. And here comes the command to fire the engines here at Indy.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Zachary Fitzwater, the 600 Victor at Charlotte, number 33, the Skull Bandit Buick, has the inside of the next row down, and he'll be alongside Ashland Boyd, number 55, the Copenhagen Chevrolet. His wins this season came at the Pepsi Born at Daytona and at New Hampshire this season as well. And starting shotgun will be Dylan Poteet, number 22, the Miller High Life Buick, and number 16, Jordan Lopez in the Halpern Chevrolet. As you hear the radio chatter as the crews give their final advice to the drivers. Well, let's just say a short hot day. Anyway, yeah, you kind of heard the tail on the radio show. It says it's going to be a long, hot day. Well, it's going to be a short, hot day here. 24 laps of action here today. Interestingly enough, so far, it's interesting enough in this first 3 rows, 3 of those drivers have not yet won this season. Cole Deaver, Dylan Young, and Zed Weinstein have all not yet won this season. Actually, 4 drivers this is made that. Kyle Langland's not yet won a race this season, neither in 27. Those 4 drivers could possibly break through here today. Kat Tellier and Keith Batson are the only one that starts in the top 3 rows that has won a race this season. So too has Charles Samper, and so he's also won a race this season. But drivers like Jason Haywood, Kev Shearer, and Seth Cole have yet to break through this season as well. So maybe today we'll see a first time winner this season, or even a first-time career victor this season. So we'll see what happens here. But several of these drivers in this pack, they are ones to watch here today, including Kyle Langland, who put up a great performance at Pocono. The last stop in the tour. The field lined up in perfect precision here. 40 cars of action. Pace car still on the pit road. The Brickyard 400 is on, and boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls. Pole speed for this event just over 180 miles per hour around this racetrack here. So they will run very fast here, and out front goes Kat Tellier, number 7. Cole Deaver on the outside of the racetrack here. Batson pushing the 7 of Tellier as they come up the backstretch and into the 3rd turn, screaming in the turn 3 goes Kat Tellier. She'll lead them all down. And it's KAB Enterprises first and second at the moment. Kat Tellier and Keith Batson. Charles Stamper driving at 3rd position on number 30 machine as they come off the 4th corner. On board, Charles Stamper's car, number 30. First lap tied at 171 miles per hour here in Indianapolis. Samper settles in the 4th position now behind Cole Deaver. And now we got somebody way down the inside of the racetrack. That's Trent Dunham, almost getting turned. He does manage to save it, though, right in front of Ryan Kazee. Meantime, back up front, Cole Deaver goes inside of now Samper for the 3rd position. He'll take 3rd position now at the moment. Here comes Kev Shearer, and he turns Charles Samper. Samper gets turned at number 30. He goes up the racetrack. He'll take Dunham. He'll take Ryan Kazee. Zed Weinstein, number 70, is in the crash, as is Alexander Rowe, number 51. Poteet, number 12, is in the crash. Oh, and Kyle Matthews, 29. Several drivers who are hungry for points this weekend. Has it all fall down for them? Oh my goodness! And two of those included Charles Sanford and Kyle Matthews. As Cat Tellier led him back to the start-finish line to complete the second lap of the event. The caution flag happening on the second lap here in Indianapolis. Let's take a look back again as to what happened. And it was the 30 of Charles Sanford that got turned. And he got turned by the 71 of Kev Shearer. Sanford was running in fourth position when this all happened as they come down come onto the north shore of the racetrack here. Sanford goes up the racetrack back, and then watch this right there. He took Trent Dunham and Ryan Cassey both. And Matthews saw him get some damage as well. There's Weinstein piling in. Joshua Skilly looked like he turned Alexander Rowe at number 51. And I think Matthews' damage came from Dylan Poteet. Let's see what happened here. And that was two of our in-car cameras that got wiped out too, with Matthews and Sanford. No, Matthews did not. Matthews actually didn't carry an in-car camera today. Actually, as a matter of fact, too. Excuse me on that. But he did hit Poteet in this whole deal. On board Charles Sanford's car on this one. Like a little silver ball in a pinball machine. It's amazing why he didn't get nailed by some of these other cars. So the yellow flag flies on the third lap of this second lap of the event here. Cars out of the race already. 6 cars out of the race already. That would be Dunham, Sanford, Weinstein, Matthews, Ryan Cassey, and Alexander Rowe all out of the race here. So, oh my goodness. So what a way to start off this race at Indianapolis, that is for sure. So pace car's lights are off here, and Kev Shear's now add him on the list as he had a piston problem that in the engine compartment that knocked him out of the race as well. So an engine failure for the 71 of Kev Shear, whose horrible season continues in season 18. Or not really a horrible season, actually. I think he's right up there in the points, I think, too. But anyway. So pace car takes off on the pit road here. The lead being held by Cat Tellier in the Xerox Santa Cruz Ford as the green flag waves. We're back underway here at Indianapolis. So it's Ford. Chevrolet got a Chevrolet sandwiched in between a couple of Fords here in the first 3 spots here. Whitman running in third. Fourth position is now Dylan Young. Then Kyle Langland, Chelsea Bowles, Jason Haywood, Joshua Collard, and Becca Tellier, and Zach Winkle the top 10 as they come down to the third turn now. And here comes Michael Whitman to the inside. Whitman giving that 6 car a good run here. He's another one of those guys to watch. As he qualified very well here at Indianapolis. Down the front stretch they come here. 180 miles an hour plus. Let's see how fast Cole Deaver goes into turn number 1. 187 miles an hour into turn number 1. And almost 3 wide here as Michael Whitman is sandwiched in between Kyle Langland and Dylan Young. And there's another guy who's another one to watch here. That's Jason Haywood at number 15. Another one of the, as 3 of the KB Enterprises cars running in the top 10. Keith Batson actually fell back during the yellow flag. I don't know what his deal was, as to be honest, but into turn 3 they come here. And a battle for the lead. Cat Tellier versus Cole Deaver. Down the front stretch they come here. And here comes Kyle Langland, 27 to the inside. Darn pace car. As Langland goes to the inside, and he and Deaver touch, and no problems on the back on the north chute. Here, Zach Winkles crashed. Oh, and a big crash in the turn number 2. Zach Winkles crashed. Johnny Gardner, Seth Cole. 47, Joshua Sekuli's crashed. Jordan Lopez is in it. Oh, Emmanuel Hartnett, number 83. He's in the crash. Tony Niven, we saw him get collected. William Brock, he was one of those drivers that was way up, that was making a good move in the points. He's in the crash. Ashland Boyd, I think he might have got some damage in the 55. I'm not so sure. So here's how the yellow flag flew for the second time here today. Zach Winkle in number 11. He was battling for 10th position with he and Becca Tellier as they come off the turn, and Tellier just turns the 11 around. Seth Cole gets into him, and look at that. Look at who's that? That's Shelton in the 9. How she didn't crash, I'll never know. And Fitzwater gets packed in this whole thing. Ashland Boyd. Keith Batson. Oh my gosh, Sekuli slammed in the Batson's car. Yeah, oh yeah, Batson upside down goes to 28. We gotta look at that one again there, the 28 machine. He rear ends the 38-83 of Emmanuel Harden. Now watch Sekuli. Batson in a horrifying 70-mile-an-hour flip and slide. A bad crash going into turn number 2 here in Indianapolis. I mean, that was a frightening deal for Keith Batson. Amazing. I'll tell you, you want amazing, though. Let's take a ride with Jessica Shelton. How she didn't crash, I'll never know. Boy, that was your lesson on how to avoid a crash with Jessica Shelton. Oh my gosh, a masterful job of missing that melee. On board Seth Cole, and he did not a good job of missing this crash. And Seth Cole's, of course, engine dying just as the crash ends, obviously. So a lot of drivers now on our attrition list here: Seth Cole, Keith Batson, the 11 is Zach Winkle, William Brock, Fitzwater, Hartnett. Sekuli, Winters, Shearer, Dunham, Sanford, Weinstein, Matthews, Kazee, and Rowe. All those cars out of the race because of a crash. Green flag back out again with now 11 laps to go here at Indianapolis. 15 cars out of this race here at Indianapolis, and I don't think we're done yet. Cat Tellier out in front. In the second position now goes Kyle Langland. Langland looking for the lead. Third position now goes Jason Haywood. Collard in the fourth position. Fifth is Dylan Young. Sixth is Deaver. Seventh is Whitman. Eighth is Ryan George. Ninth is Paul Minnick and Jessica Shelton up to 10th as the field goes into turn 3 now. Here comes Collard inside of Haywood. That's for third position. And meantime, Kyle Langland looking for the lead in 27. He looked inside of Tellier. Tellier throws the block off the fourth corner now. Chevrolet, Ford in first. Pontiac in second position now. Battle for third there. Still raging on between the Ford of Jason Haywood, the Pontiac of Joshua Collard. And throw the Chevrolet in of Cole Deaver and he and Dylan Young. And Deaver's crashed now. Cole Deaver and Dylan Young is crashed. And Joshua Osborne slammed into him. Joshua Osborne's flat slammed into Cole Deaver's car. Tony Newman's in the crash in the number 14. On a heartbreaker for both Cole Deaver and Dylan Young. As the lead is now being held by Kyle Langland as he leads them back to the start-finish line with now 10 laps to go. Or make that 9 laps to go now. I kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen on the second yellow flag, on the second lap back to the start-finish line. And you do have to feel for both Cole Deaver and for Dylan Young both. Deaver goes up the track into the 2 of Dylan Young, looks like. Neither one giving an inch at about 160 miles per hour. Into the wall they both go. Michael Whitman's in the crash. In the 6th car, he gets a piece of it. And the 44 of Paul Minnick, he really did a masterful job avoiding that one. So, and as again did Shelton. That's 2 crashes she should have been in and didn't and wasn't in. So it looked like it was just going to be Cole Deaver and the 2 of Dylan Young, and then that was until this happened with Joshua Osborne. Osborne was running in 22nd, and he was battling with a fellow Kentuckian, Dylan Poteet, excuse me. He missed Dylan Young, but right into Deaver's car he went and destroyed that Tim Richmond special. Whew. So Cole Deaver, who was the pole sitter for the event, no Indy glory for him, unfortunately, in the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet as his bad season continues in that machine. Dylan Young was able to drive away, but unfortunately for both Osborne and for Deaver, both. Well, actually, Dylan Young was the one who's out of the race with a fuel leak. Deaver and Osborne both continuing on. And now Deaver and Osborne are now the ones out of the race here now. So the attrition list still growing. It's now at 20... No. The attrition list is now at 18 cars. So will we see a green flag finish, or will we see a race in under caution? We're about to find out here, as the field is now, as the race will be down to 5 laps to go here at Indianapolis. Pace car on the pit road. Kyle Langland looking for his first ever series victory, as is the 15 of Jason Haywood. He also looking for his first victory of the season of his career. Cat Taylor looking for her second win of the victory of the season. As the green flag falls once again, Langley got an excellent start on Cat Taylor. Pontiac running first and fourth. Fords are second and third, and a Chevrolet in fifth. Another Ford in sixth with Jessica Shelton. Mike Becker running in seventh. Eighth position is Quentin Moore. Ninth is Phil Parker, and Patrick Smith running in 10th. Shelton, the first to make the move. On the inside of Paul Minnick, you're on board Jessica Shelton's car. Shelton rides sixth. And Quentin Moore in his 26th. He spins and he's in the wall now. And that may be the race right there. Chelsea Bowles, and into Ghost Bowles and Jordan Lopez. Tony Newman also in the crash. This is for the victory here in the Brickyard 400. Taylor has the lead. Here comes Jason Haywood. Third and fourth turns they come. They'll be coming up for three to go. Haywood to the inside of Cat Taylor. Haywood pulls ahead to the start-finish line. And Jason Haywood's going to win the race back to the start-finish line. And if that's the case, Jason Haywood has won his first ever race with Cat Taylor in second, Collard in third, fourth to Langland, fifth position of Minnick, sixth to Shelton, seventh to Mike Becker. On a darn shame, I was hoping he was going to get a green flag finish in the Brickyard 400. I really was hoping that, actually, to be honest. So oh my gosh, a bad crash happening again in turn number 2. That South Chute has proved to be a disaster area here at this racetrack. And a tough break for Quentin Moore. He was running in 8th. Looked like he's going to have a solid points day happening too. And he and Patrick Smith get together. Watch this on the North Chute. Smith just drives Moore, and actually Moore just drives Smith actually to the inside. Moore gets turned around. And then right at this point, there was no saving as he goes into the turn. Backs are into the wall. He goes in. It looks like he was going to be a one-car crash. Then Max Anderson gets into him in the 75. Phil Parker gets through in the 5 machine. And now watch where all this bad hits happen for him. And just as Moore is getting ready to start the car right back up, Becca Taylor gets through, so does Dylan Poteet, but Chelsea Bowles does not get through. Oh, and Jordan Lopez, a hard hit right in the Quentin Moore's car. Quentin slams in the turn 2 wall. And then Tony Newman's going to pile in right about here. No, Michael Whitman's going to pile in to Jordan Lopez. And up on 2 wheels he goes, and now watch Tony Newman. And Quentin Moore gets another hard shot. Oh my gosh. So 5 cars crashed hard. And I think 5 more on the attrition list too. I mean, Indianapolis, very hard. Indianapolis, a heartbreaking race for a lot of them. And now watch this race back to the start-finish line. They go here. Kyle Langland had the lead. Cat Taylor made her move at this point in the racetrack. It looked like it's going to be Cat Taylor's event right there at this point. But then Jason Haywood gets a draft off the 43 of Joshua Collard, shoves him past the 27 of Langland, and now watch the run that Haywood's going to get at this point. He falls in behind Cat Taylor in the 7 machine, his teammate. And then he goes to the inside there, gets a little bit loose slightly, coming off the third turn. Keeps that foot right on the throttle as he goes off the fourth turn. It's a driver's percent of 15 and a 7 to the start finish line. Indeed it was. Jason Haywood is going to get there first to the start finish line. And that is going to be the Brickyard 400 right here. And for the first time ever in his career, Jason Haywood is going to be a Castrol GTX Cup Series winner. And so officially now all 4 of the KAB Enterprises cars have all won a race this season. Here, Tellier did so at California. Becca Tellier did it at Darlington. We mentioned Cat Tellier at California, excuse me. Becca Tellier at Darlington. Keith Badson at Michigan and Sonoma. And now Jason Haywood at Indianapolis. And I tell you, like I said, I would have loved to have seen a green flag finish on this one, because that would have been a heck of a race between Haywood, Tellier, Collard, Langland, Minnick, and Shelton and Becker. That would have been a heck of a race right there. But still, a great, still another, so yeah, how about another first-time winner in this series? As first it was Becca Tellier, first it was First it was Ashlyn Boyd who took the title at the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Then it was trying to think who else it was. Yeah, I think Ashlyn Boyd and Jason Haywood's the only 2 first-time winners we got this in this series. I think Ryan George, was also the first-time winner when he won at Rockingham. But now Jason Haywood adds it as his name, and we're better to do it at Indianapolis. How about that? And we said Haywood was one of those guys to watch during this whole race, and we were not lying, as he takes this Motorcraft 1985 Thunderbird to victory lane here today. Cat Tellier comes home second. Third will go to Joshua Collard. Fourth will go to Kyle Langland. Fifth place to Paul Minnick. Sixth to Jessica Shelton. A great day for her. Mike Becker, 7th. 8th to Ashlyn Boyd. 9th to Johnny Gardner. Patrick Smith will finish in 10th position, as the average speed will drop to well under 100 miles per hour as a field comes down at an agonizingly slow 70 miles per hour. Yeah. Jason Haywood leads them all to the start-finish line, and there it is. The winner of the Season 18 Brickyard 400 is this man, Jason Haywood, the number 15 Motorcraft Ford. Goes to victory lane here today. And oh my freaking goodness. Look at the... Yeah. That attrition list pretty much says it all of this whole doggone race. Raced 24 cars out of the race, all because of either a crash or a mechanical failure or what have you. Mainly all because of crashes. The rest of the finishers here, Ryan George will come on 11th, Jesse Turner 12th, Jonathan Zorlin 13th, Phil Parker 14th, Becca Tellier 15th, and Dylan Pote was the last finisher in 16th position. So that's all. So that was 16 survivors in this the Brickyard 400 Derby, Brickyard 400 that was basically a demolition derby pretty much. Wow, 24 cars heading to the junkyard. And I don't know a junkyard or a dumpster that can fit 24 cars. I don't know if there's a junkyard or a dumpster big enough to hold 24 crashed race cars, but I swear to goodness. But you think there's carnage today? Wait till we go to the road course at Watkins Glen for the next race on the NNSCRA Castrol GTX Cup Series Tour. Oh my gosh, better save this race right here too. So there's the rest of the finishers right here. There's the rest of the finishers right there. See where you finish from 17th on down. So if you like what you see here, make sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel here. NNSCRA races, in our races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for this channel. You know, and please be sure to check out Seth's series as well. His Seth's NNSCRA Pizza Hut X series, the Tax Order Truck series, and the Hershey's Cup series. Be sure to check those races out too. And I will swear to you, his races are a whole heck of a lot better than what I have to offer. And especially this one right here. No question about that. So be sure to check. So please be sure to check out Seth's races as well. And you will not regret it. And of course, also be sure to join the team and like the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel page on Facebook as well. So that's the story of the Brickyard 400 here. That is pretty much a demolition. British doubled as a demolition derby, and 16 cars survived this event there. And the main survivor was Jason Haywood with an average speed of 95.620 miles per hour, and about 3 or 4 caution flags, and about 3 big ones too, I might add. So Jason Haywood, a big winner in the Brickyard 400, his first win ever in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. And so next race on the tour will be at the Butt at the Glen at Watkins Glen Raceway in Watkins Glen, New York. For now, this is James Qualson in production in the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. Or worst in my case.